Okay, so good evening, everyone. Um, for those of you who've been around, you would know me. Why, for those who will be joining us for the very first time, I would like to introduce myself. And my name is King Igosotin Tekume, and I'm the facilitator for the ExpandEazy Digital Skill Acquisition Program. I'm the facilitator for the ExpandEazy Digital Skill Acquisition Program. So far, our vision has remained the same to equip Africans, young and old, with various digital skills. Although for now, though our demography is targeted at younger ones, but it is not exclusive to younger ones. It means that the older ones can also participate in this because these digital opportunities are open to everyone, right? And I've seen people who have participated in this program. They have been from different age group. I've seen a 50-year-old man participating in this program, and have been made better for it, right? Because I think a lot of this digital space, is for everyone, and everybody is trying to take advantage of it. So if you're here, I want to welcome you all. So today we're going to be talking about our AI skill to income system. This is the AI training that we are organizing currently. It's going to be a boot camp, going to spanning for a duration of 2 weeks at least. So, and I just want to talk about what this is about and give us like, let me start by muting everyone who's just coming in. So, all right. So, that being said, that being said, um, the AI means artificial intelligence. I'm going to be talking about AI, what AI is, because I believe that a lot of us have been hearing about AI for quite too long now, but many of us may not be, well, we just have an inkling into what it is without having a full understanding, right? So, and that's what I want to change. I want to give us a better understanding of what this AI skill to income system is all about. So, if somebody asks what is AI, it's very easy. The first thought that goes to your mind is AI means artificial intelligence, right? AI means artificial intelligence. That's what it means, artificial intelligence. When the intelligence is not human and it's artificial, it's called AI, right? So what is it? What is an artificial intelligence? It's a computer system trained to understand, learn, and respond like a human. So it's an intelligence. So it means that it's able to comprehend information, right? Or it's able to process information and give an output in a way that someone else will understand. That's what intelligence is, right? So it's not just garbage in, garbage out alone. It's able to process information and give out information. And the most important part of intelligence is that it learns from data. So when you feed it data, it continues to learn. So it learns about you as an individual. If you're interacting with the system, it learns about you. That's why if two different persons are using different AI, right, the output person A would get will be different from the output person B would get, right? So if person A is the areas of his area of interest will determine, and his manner of speaking, his manner of communicating to the artificial intelligence will determine the kind of output this um, that this person will be getting from the the artificial intelligence. Why? Because the artificial intelligence learns from the data. Do you understand? So it processes information, it learns from data, and it adapts responses based on patterns. Do you understand? So most times, if you are communicating with a person, this is just it. It's just like a normal human intelligence. If there is a way, okay, for those ones who are educated or who have gone to school, I believe almost all of us here have gone to one form of education, formal education or the other. We have different types of teachers or lecturers, right? And one thing we that's conversant with them is that different lecturers like the way have different ways they want their questions to be answered, right? So when we have different people, lecturers who have different ways that they want their questions to be answered, what do you do as an intelligent person? What do you do? It means that by the time you are giving an output for a question that you were asked in the exam, you want to actually try to see if you can carve out your response to suit that lecturer's style of responding to question. That means that you adapted your response based on the patterns. Do you understand? Based on what you've studied, right, about that particular lecturer. You've adapted your response based on that. Now, another characteristics of this artificial intelligence, it understands and responds to natural language. Normally, if you are to communicate with a computer before, you need computer language. You talk about programming languages, C++, C++, HTML, and the rest. But here now, you can actually communicate with this artificial intelligence using your normal language, just like you speak, you talk, you write, you type. That's what you do, right? So that's the beauty of artificial intelligence. So it processes information, it learns from data, it adapts responses based on the patterns, it understands and responds to your natural language, and then it makes predictions based on what on trainings. So once we have been training it consistently, because number one, how is AI trained? AI is trained from a large amount of data, right? One of the predominant characteristics of the internet over the years is that it has been accumulating a lot of data. A lot of data has been accumulated on the internet, and this data has been fed into this artificial intelligence such that it now has a very large database. Do you get? So it has a large database that is learning from, but then it now begins to adapt the responses based on patterns, based on individuals. So when you have your personal AI communicating with personal AI in a certain way, what you do is you get a response in a certain way because of the adaptation. That is where the intelligence comes in, right? It's not just a search engine where you go and search what people have and then it will come out exactly the way the people put it there. It's not a search engine, it's an intelligence. It gives you responses based on your patterns and all that. So I want to still be sure that my I'm still very audible, right? I want to still be sure that I'm audible and then my screen is showing. So I don't know if anybody can give me a response. If what is showing on your screen is introduction, what is AI? I would like to know. So I will just be sure. Just on the chat box, you can just let me know if I'm audible and my screen is showing. Yeah. So just let me know right now. You get if I'm audible, just somebody should just briefly say that. Right. Okay. All right. Yes. Yes, audible. What is the screen? The screen is it showing what is AI? Introduction, what is AI? Okay. Somebody should just please answer that. Okay, okay, all right. All right. Okay. So now that being said, it means that we're following because I would not want to be talking to myself and everybody's not following, right? And since I had to mute because of those persons that could not unmute their mics themselves. So that's AI. I've been able to define AI. It's an intelligence. It's trained to understand, learn, and respond like a human using data. The large chunk of the data that it's learning from comes from the internet, right? That's one of the large chunk of data come from. Because over time, since the advent of the internet, it has been accumulating data, right? And this data has now been fed to this AI for it to learn and process it like a human. Do you understand? So that's what the artificial intelligence is, right? So I'm just going to give a brief differences between human versus artificial intelligence. The reason why we're making these distinctions between what human intelligence is and artificial intelligence is that um, it's very important that you know what AI is, especially when you are interacting with it. Do you get? Because most times people just tend to feel that, okay, as AI is just here to replace humans and the like, I've had that case before where people feel like AI is just to replace humans. One thing I would always say is that AI cannot replace you, but somebody who knows how to use AI will replace somebody who doesn't know how to use AI. Yes, there are some jobs that AI will do, you get, but one thing about AI is it responds to prompting. You understand? That's instructions. You get it doesn't just it responds to instructions. So the ability to feed it instruction in a way for you to get better output, that's what is most important. That's why somebody who understands AI would always that those are the people that will replace those who do not understand AI, right? So let's get that. So that's why I'm doing a distinction between the human versus artificial intelligence, right? So what is the human intelligence? We said intelligence means ability to understand, process data. That's what it is, right? And respond. Do you understand? Respond give predictive responses, right? So artificial intelligence is when a computer does that. Human intelligence is basically when a human does that. Do you understand? So, but there are distinctions between a human intelligence and artificial intelligence. Number one, a human is conscious and self-aware, right? And the AI is not conscious, it's not self-aware. Do you understand? It's just a programming. It's not conscious. It doesn't have a consciousness. I think if you've been watching sci-fi movies most times, the age of robots, like maybe if they're talking about the age of robots where it comes to extinct humans, one of the key things that that robot has to have is a sense of self-awareness. Do you understand? A sense of self-awareness and consciousness. So that's where the fear has always been, right? So, but in the reality, that's when we're talking about sci-fi. When they're saying, okay, this is what, where if a artificial intelligence now begins to have a sense of self-awareness, emotions, and all that, right? They can now decide to do one or two, take over the world. It's just, but nobody's taking over the world. But I'm just trying to tell you that the difference why humans would always continue to be humans and would always continue to rule the world is because humans are conscious, they are self-aware, they have emotions and intuitions, right? AI, they don't have, they are not conscious, they are not self-aware, they don't have any emotion or intuition. So a human can actually just have a feeling. It's just to tell you it's a gut feeling. I have a feeling that this is something that's going to happen. I have a feeling that this is going to be just a gut feeling. They respond their emotion. Humans respond to emotion. So when you see two humans, right, AI responds basically based on data. Human response basically emotion. So you can actually educate two humans exactly the same way, give them the same level of data, and then but you are expecting output for a certain scenario, and they're going to give you two different outputs based on how they feel, right? Emotions, based on how their emotions are. You get so that's one thing about AI. So that's why, like, if you go to the internet and you see people are talking about different scenarios, or probably they are sharing your opinion about certain issues, you see where emotions now come into play, and you see that most of the responses human give has a lot to do with their emotions, their self-awareness. Do you understand? That's one thing about humans. But artificial intelligence doesn't have that. So they are not conscious, they are not self-aware, they have no emotions or intuitions. They don't tell you that it's my gut feeling. I'm having this, my gut feeling. When the humans can have a gut feeling that goes against all the data, you get it's just their gut feeling. It goes against all the data, but that is what is prompting their decision. That is what is prompting their response. It goes against the data, but they have a feeling. They have that intuition, right? So humans can think beyond data, right? Artificial intelligence works only with existing data. That's one thing. They work only with existing data. Humans, we can think beyond data. I'll just give an example of having a gut feeling that goes against even the data that they have been fed with. Do you get? They just have a gut feeling about it. But artificial intelligence works only with existing data. So it's what it has been fed. That's what it can actually give you. Listen, that's how it works, right? So humans can think beyond data. We can actually exceed. It's just like we're living outside the cloud, right? We have think outside the box. You understand? So artificial intelligence only thinks within the box, and that box is what's confined in data, right? So that's it. We get so we create meanings and values based on things, but artificial intelligence they create outputs, not meanings. So they create outputs. Outputs can be text-based, audio-based, image-based, video-based, but it's output. While humans they create meanings and values, right? They create meaning and values. You get so they decide why to act. Do you get? So for somebody to do something, for a human to do something, there has to be an internally generated why. You get, why should I do this? There are certain persons, especially for those that have an inquisitive mind, like me. If you want me to do certain things, you tell me why. Why? You don't just tell me that, okay, do this, and then all of a sudden I feel prompted to do it. No, I would ask you why. Why should I do this? Why? So most times you have to, when you are dealing with a human, you have to give the why, not just the instruction. You don't have to tell this person, this is why you should do what I'm asking you to do. And most times they now think on it based on how their emotion and everything, they cannot decide to react. But artificial intelligence will act based on instructions, irrespective of what it is, based on instructions within the permissions. Let me you say why I use within the permissions. Because there are times you're trying to actually, I think there was a time I was trying to create a video for a particular campaign I wanted to run, and then there was a child in the video, and then it was like, no, they don't have the permissions to actually create videos with children, right? So that's why I say ask on instruction within the permission, right? So that's what artificial intelligence is, right? So Here they decide why to act. We decide why to act outside the box or anything. So it's just crazy. That's why we have diversity, especially as it pertains to the humans. Again, because we have different why, we have different emotions that actually governs us, right? So now I want to sum this up as human intelligence thinks, artificial intelligence responds. That's how I want to sum it up, right? So human intelligence we think, while artificial intelligence we respond. They respond based on the instruction. But the beautiful part about it is that the instructions they respond based on is based using your natural language. That's why your ability to communicate fluently means that you should be able to communicate with AI. So most times people overthink AI, right? They overthink AI, but the reality is that your ability to communicate in the course of this training, you're going to see how best to communicate alongside other skills that you're going to learn because prompting, reverse prompting is going to be part of our training as we proceed, right? So why AI existed, as a matter of fact, it's very important to know why this was created because especially as we're going to go into using AI, you want to use it in line with the purpose in which it was created. It was created to reduce repetitive work, process large amounts of information quickly, help humans make better decisions, increase speed, efficiency, and creativity. So now, let me just say this. A lot of times, we, especially for if you're a professional in any field, you tend to do some things over and over and over again, right? You tend to do some things over and over and over again. So this work can actually become very repetitive. Most times you just need something to be able to help you process the information faster, something that helps you to repeat these processes faster so you don't have to do it. It processes large amounts of information very quickly because it's a computer, right? It processes large amounts of, it doesn't experience the kind of human fatigue that we experience. Like if you are given large amount of information, apart from the fact that you have to scroll through patiently and slowly, right, you experience fatigue. But the AI actually processes large amounts of information very quickly. So you can actually feed a large amount of information. So for instance, now there's something that for students, what they do is they can actually have a PDF of their materials and then they put it in AI and AI, they use AI to generate questions as fast as possible. Do you know what it would take for a normal student to actually go through that whole material and start generating series of questions? No, that's going to be a lot of time. You understand, a lot of time, and they cannot even. It will be difficult. They have to first of all read through. They have to understand, process, assimilate. But AI does this very fast, and then it can actually do that. That's one way it can actually process large amounts of information quickly. We have people who deal with large data that they need to summarize as fast as possible. They can actually do it quickly with AI. You understand? So there are sometimes when somebody just presents you with maybe like a file and that file is very large. You just want to get a scope of what the file is about. You can use it on AI and AI is going to give you a scope of what the file is. So because it's able to process large amount of information quickly, right? So it helps you man to make better decisions because obviously when you are faced with certain things, you put all parameters and then you are able to align all parameters with the AI. AI actually helps you to align most of the parameters and then you can actually make your decisions better. Do you understand? Faster. It increases speed. Yes, this is something because if you use AI like me, I'm not talking of the fanciness of AI. You can just create pictures just to post, right? Use AI, incorporate it into your workflow, right? You see, like this morning, I woke up around 1 a.m. this morning. I needed to create a campaign. So, as I, the first thing I did, I wrote out the angle I wanted to come in. I fed it into my AI, and then I was able to come up with everything that was needed, right? But one of the different way I actually use, I have templates that I'll tell my AI to model after. So if I'm writing out copies, there are templates I actually have. You get from books I've read and everything, created some templates that I will use to now say, okay, create it following these templates, following these other templates and all that. And it's able to give me based on what I want. That's why, like I said, your AI is going to be the way responses I will get with my AI is going to be different kind of responses you would get with your AI, depending on the kind of interaction and the kind of data you are feeding your AI with. Do you understand? So I was able to do that. And this morning, I just went to my WordPress and then I created a landing page and everything. So in less than 30 minutes, I was done. I went to sleep. Naturally, to take me a longer time coming up with all the ad copies, coming up with the landing page copies and everything. It took me a longer time. But in 30 minutes, I was done. I went to sleep. If I wake up before around that time and I'm not using AI, it will take me a whole long time, right? It took me a whole long time to actually do that. And I'm not going to come up with some of these very generic stuff. I didn't come up with very generic stuff because of my level of communication, my level of knowledge, my level of what the information I feed. One thing you should understand is that your output is based on your what you feed. That's what will determine your output, right? You get so you can increase speed, efficiency, and creativity. Yes, creativity is very cool. So I think for those who are in the digital skill acquisition preparatory group, you will see that there are some times where I will post, like I posted some videos I created. There's a very large workflow for that. Most times it takes about 4 um, for AI tools to actually get those videos or stuff created. But the thing is that the creativity aspect of it, the angle in which I'm coming from, I actually get them from AI, right? I use AI to come up with the ideas, the creative ideas, right? I just add a little bit of maybe human thoughts into it, and then I use it to tweak the output that I get, and then I'm able to now use it, put it to work, generate all the necessary things I need to generate to put everything together. So that's why I said increases speed, efficiency, and creativity. Do you get? So as you're in this, for those who are in this training and those who would register, because I believe I open this to everyone to attend to see what this training is all about, you would actually see the beauty of AI, the speed, efficiency, and creativity that you can actually use AI for, and then you see that you become more efficient. As a matter of fact, the things I can do a day and the time it takes me to do it is a very small fraction of time it takes me to work before. So most times I find it now seems like I don't do anything, right? Because for me to write copies, normally for me to write copies, it usually takes me time because you have to think about it, you have to put the text together and everything. But now I come up with angles. Like I just come up with different angles. So if somebody comes to me with the marketing, I come up with different angles because I've been in the space of marketing for a long time now. So I come up with the various angles. I look at various angles. I feed it. I communicate and everything. I'm able to get this work faster in time. Get multiple hard copies as fast as possible. Get ideas for creative. Design this creative, and everything can happen within a very short period of time. That's how why AI exists. That's how we are going to use AI as much as possible, right? So we're just going to talk a little bit about how AI works. I don't want to be that I'm too fast. Are we following? So if we're actually following what I'm saying, you can just, okay. Yeah. So are we following? Are we following? Are we following? Let me just get if we're following so that I know that I'm not alone here. Are we following? Okay. Yes. Shola says is following. Yes. Shola says is following. All right. So I need another confirmation. I need another confirmation. All right. CJ says yes, following. Okay. So I just needed two confirmation. So how does AI work? How does AI work? Now, I for me, I like giving the foundations for everything because if you have an understanding of foundation, it actually helps you to it helps you when you are utilizing that system. It helps you to make better decisions, right? So how does AI work? Now, AI systems, remember I said they are trained on large data sets, and the one of the predominant characteristics of the internet has been the fact that it's collates data, right? It collates data. That's one of the predominant characteristics of the internet. And from this data, that is where these models, these AI systems were actually fed. This data, that's what they were fed for them to be able to learn, start learning based on that data. So AI systems, they are trained on large data sets. They learn patterns from examples. Like I said, that's why how my AI respond to me will not be how Shola's AI respond to the same prompt. You understand? It will not be the same thing at all. You get so as we go into the practical aspect of this training, I'm going to show you because I have multiple AI this thing here. I'll show you how they respond. You get like different accounts. The one I use very well, and then the one I do not use, I just created as a backup. We're going to put exactly the same prompt. You will see there and you will see. So when we go into the practical aspect for those who are registered for this training, when we're doing our practical sessions, so you see the difference and you see how the responses differ. So that will give you an understanding that when you are communicating with your AI, especially your AI is going to be you're going to be chatting with consistently, you must feed it information, examples, right? Because that's how we learn. That's how we learn. You get so They are trained on large data sets. They are trained on large data sets, right? Like we said, they learn from examples. They learn from examples. They improve through feedbacks. They respond to prompts or instructions and improve through feedbacks. So they are trained on that. So that's the format, right? So one thing you must understand is that the better your instructions, the better the output. That's why I said if you can communicate clearly, it's just like you have an assistant, for instance, right? You have an assistant, and then if you can communicate better to your assistant, imagine your assistant is a very super intelligent person that only operates. Now the difference is that if it's a human intelligence can actually use intuitions, right? Know what is expected to do. Do you get? But AI can only respond based on instruction. So just imagine you have a super intelligent um, assistant, but the only caveat is that there is no initiative. That's AI. AI doesn't have initiative. You know what it's called initiative. You should use an initiative now. No, it doesn't have an initiative. But if you give it a clear, you give this your assistant a clear instruction, the assistant will finish it to the latter, right? So that's how AI is. So you better your instructions, the better your output, right? That's just how it works. You get so the 4 AI step process, right? So data training, yes. So there are some companies that are responsible for training this data. So I think it's actually a job thing now currently, right? I've seen it. Because I am going to. There's an opportunity there, and that I will also expose to the students of this training, right? There's an opportunity there, so people get paid. Recently it has just been a thing that's been flying around. Outlier, I think. I'm going to do more research on that because, like I said, part of our training is to give you a means to earn, right? To give you a means to earn. So all the possible ways that you can actually earn, all the ways that I've been utilizing, and other ways that I'm going to source out for you. We're going to learn it practically. We're going to do it together. That's my purpose for those of you in this training. So the reason why I'm talking about this outlier, for example, I think that's one of the websites is they train AI models, right? So you get paid to train an AI model. So um, yeah, you feed it with examples, you feed it with patterns and relate, and then it's the AI actually learns because it's very important. Because as this AI is coming out, they have to be fed with examples. So while there's a large database that they are learning from, they also need to be properly trained with examples and everything. So that's the process. So from the if you're fed with data, large amount of data, you get then there's a training process, and then there's instructions, prompting, and then there's the output. Do you get? There's the output and the the output is the response to the prompting you get. Then lastly, they improve through feedback. So when you now begin to give it feedback, it now begins to be customized to you. You who is consistently giving it feedback. So the AI models now begin to work. That AI now begins, especially when you log in now, it now begins to come customized to you. Do you understand? So that's how it works. So that's the AI process, right? Now, before we proceed, I think I've been able to give the basics for it. I've defined what AI is. I've defined what AI is. I've talked about why AI exists, the differences between human and artificial intelligence, right? There's something human intelligence thinks, artificial intelligence responds. Artificial intelligence doesn't have initiative. Most times when we talk to our assistants at times, she'll be like, you should use your initiative now. It doesn't have, AI doesn't have initiative. It only responds based on the information. We talked about why it exists. Obviously, most technology is created to solve a problem. So you need to know what is the problem that AI was created to solve, right? We said to reduce repetitive work, process large amounts of information, right? To help humans make better decisions, increase speed, efficiency, and creativity. So you begin to see people that are not so creative, but they're coming up with widely amazing concepts. And so that's why you must position yourself. You must position yourself. Very important that you position yourself. And they'll talk about how it works, how it's trained on large data sets. Then they are training it for it, where they train it with examples, patterns, and all that for it to get better. Then it responds to prompts, and then it improves through feedback, right? Improves through feedback. So now we're going to talk about the important mindset you need to have for any training like this, especially for this training, you don't need to be perfect, right? You don't need to be, I just like to state this. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be curious enough and willing to try. You understand? You just need to be curious enough and willing to try. So when you're curious enough and willing to try, it means that this training is for you. You just need to be curious enough and willing to try. Notice AI is a tool. AI is a tool. You get, so we have different AI tools. So for you to be able to master it is a skill. And you build skills what? By doing consistently. But there's also one thing I need you to know is that AI is not 100% accurate. So that it means that whatever thing you are getting out from artificial intelligence, because there's always that what's the word to use? What do they call it? There's always that disclaimer there. AI is not 100% accurate. If you've been using it for a while, you see sometimes, especially if you are into image or video production, you see some inconsistencies, right? Yeah, so it's not 100% accurate. So you must always check for it. Yeah, so that's why I would always tell you that artificial intelligence is not meant to replace you. You understand? It cannot replace you, but it can enhance your work. Do you get? It amplifies. It amplifies you. So if you're a marketer, artificial intelligence amplifies your marketing. If you are a designer, artificial intelligence amplifies your design. If you are a video creator, artificial intelligence amplifies it. Do you understand? So that's why even as you learn, because the purpose of this training will be to teach you the various skill sets that you can actually master with AI, because AI can actually give you various skill sets, right? And how to turn these skills to income, right? So that's why this training is called the AI skill to income system. AI skill to income system. So, what's the AI skill to income system? This is a practical training program that teaches you high income AI skills you can start using immediately. Because I will tell you, the AI tools don't give you money, it's the skills you build around it. That's how you can build an income. The skills you build around it is how you build an income. So, if you enter into, if you start learning AI, you're just familiarizing yourself with the tools and you're not building skills around it. And the reality is, like I said, you don't have to be perfect. AI is a tool. Tools, mastering a tool is a skill, right? And then you actually develop skill by doing consistently. So it means that using the fact that this is a skill that you're going to be learning, we are going to be teaching you different skills. You have to be consistently doing, you have to be consistently practicalizing. That's why this training has no choice than to be practical. And for you to be in this training, it means that every practical aspect of it you must implement. You get, for instance, we're teaching you video production with AI. We're teaching you video production with AI. What do you do if we're teaching you video production with AI? You must try to produce your own videos. If we're teaching you scripting, you must try to produce your own scripts, write your own scripts with AI. If we're teaching you book writing, you must produce your own books. Practically, you do it consistently. You see, how do I make my AI to improve and everything. So, like I said, the AI skill is a practical training program that teaches you high income skills that you can start using immediately. We focus on turning AI tools into real income streams. Yes, turning it into real income streams. Very important too, because I don't believe in fancy skills. I believe in skills that can bring money. If it does not bring money, I don't know what we should be doing, right? So your skills should give you money. That's just the reality of it. Your skills should give you money. So, and in this training, we're going to cover multiple in-demand skills. I'm going to list them later on. So, and this is actually designed for people who want to learn online without needing advanced tech skills. Yes, you don't need advanced tech skills to learn AI, right? You don't need to, especially this skill to income system. This is skill. So this focus on AI is skill to income, is to develop AI skills and then to income system. So there are some of the skills that I'll be learning in this training. Now, okay, before we go, okay, let's just go there. Get so what skills we covered in this training: graphics design, image editing, um, video creation and production, product photography and videography, copywriting, book writing, or teach you how to write ebooks that you can sell, content creation, research and idea generation, marketing analytics, teach you how to do modeling crafts, and wares, especially for those in fashion or those that have like products, wearable products and all that. You get. So we're going to teach you guys how to do that, right? So how this training works. Now, for this training, we are going to be doing live demonstrations, real examples, and use cases, right? So if you've been in the digital skill acquisition group, you see that I brought some cases that have actually some uses I've actually used this AI for, right? Especially as patterns. One thing you should understand is that I use AI based on to amplify what I do. So I'm a marketer. Do you understand? I'm a marketer. I work with business owners. So therefore, I use my skills as an AI, as somebody who has AI skills, right, to be able to help business owners to be able to get some of their promotional materials and all that. You get. So that's why in this training we're going to expose you to different actual skills that you can actually use. I'm going to show you my way of using it to make money and other ways you can actually use to make money because I have dived into this skill area and then I know a lot as it pertains to this, right? And I still do more and more research. One thing I don't ever claim to do is I don't claim to know everything. So once I learn more, for those that are in my training, I will teach you. I'll teach you all that I know, all that I have accumulated over the years. And as I'm still learning, as far as you are within my space here, I'm going to be teaching you. For those who are in the digital skill acquisition group, you can see most times I share my thoughts as I read, I share what I read, information from things I read, as I go online and find things and I share them there. I share how it applies to me. I share the practical aspect of it and different growth mediums you can actually use. Do you get? So here, like I said, this training is going to be real life examples, real use cases, right? Tools you can apply immediately, simple explanations. I'm not going to overwhelm you. We're just going to be talking the way we talked in this um, for this introductory class. Now, today we were just talking, we're able to do everything. No tech skills. I'm not going to try to, I don't want, I'm not trying to be so smart. Do you understand that? I don't, the reality is my definition of being smart is somebody who can actually communicate well. That's what it means to be smart. Do you get? So, because when you're communicating with AI, you just need to communicate very well in clear English. So that's one thing you would expect from my training. Simple English, no technical jargons, right? No technical, but if there are certain technical terms that you need in your field, especially in this field, I would introduce them to you and I will break it down for you. So you have nothing to worry about. So for those that are yet to register for this training, truth is that you're going to be missing a lot, right? You're going to be missing a lot. So I'm just going to show you some, because as it pertains to this, I've shared some of these things before. All right. So I don't know if you're still with me. Are we still with me here, right? All right. Okay. Okay. Sorry, you. I talk quite fast. And thank you, Henry. Said, please reduce the speed a little. All right, all right, all right. Let me try to reduce my speed. Okay, so yeah, I will just let me stop sharing my screen for a while. Uh, Share one with you too. Thank you very much. Okay, so I want to show you guys some certain things because, like I said, I use AI for certain aspects, right? I use AI for certain aspects of my life, a lot of aspects of my life currently, especially as it pertains to my business. And I also believe that for many of us, we can actually still use it. So, for some practical examples of some of the things that I use it for, right? For some of the things I've used it for, I'm just going to show you how it is, So, for people who, let me share the screen. I'll just show you guys. Okay, so CJ, the training duration is 2 weeks. So I'm going to talk about that briefly, right? So let me just share my screen, share specific app, all right? So let me do that. Okay, it doesn't share gallery. Okay, all right. Okay, so I'll just come to my gallery here. So what you'll see here is like this is a virtual try-on, right? So this is my original image. I have my in-law, my wife's sister, she's into clothing. So I just you can just pick any model for those that are fashion designers. you can actually see this virtual try-on. It maintains the quality of the images, so because there's a specific tool that is used for it, right? So this is a product image most times. You can just get a product image. Most times, for even those who are into fashion and probably you have a website, there's a way you can actually get the API for this, but this is for developers. Anyways, developers will know how to do that, incorporating it into your website. So if a client comes, somebody who is interested in getting your product, they try the virtual trial, but one thing you must note is not 100% accurate. Do you understand? So you can actually see this, for instance. So this is it also. This was made by my in-law, her. So you can see the product, you can see my picture, and you can see the virtual trial. So this gives me an insight. So if I see something like this, I'll be interested in actually getting this done. So for some of you who are into this, because this is one part of this, we say modeling craft, and yes, this is one of it. We're just going to give you practical use cases in which I used it, right? So this was a product someone sent me. You get, this was a product, she just sent it to me, and she needed um, to do a product imaging for that, and certain information wanted and everything. This took a couple of tweaks because what came out originally was not what she needed tweak and everything. That's why I said, and I've been in the graphic design space. I know how to, so I was able to tweak it to this at the end of the day. Do you understand? So that's why, like I said, any skill you are picking up, you are not just going to pick it up like that. You are going to try to develop on it, right? And we did a product this is just a product video for this. You get, so you can actually see this was the product stuff we did. Then because like I told you now, I'm using this based on what I use every day, right? This is what I use every day, so it's what I'm showing you, right? So you can actually see this was another product for a business, right? So here, like this particular video here, this particular video that was actually created, right? It took at least 4 AI tools in creating this video here, right? Now, okay, so I don't just want to, so this is just one. This was another video created. I will just forward and everything. So you can actually see we gave a practical use case of the particular this thing using AI. So it just makes it, and this is actually this thing now is used for an ad campaign. This video now is used for an ad campaign because it's not just for most times some people think AI is just for content creation. I don't want to be a content creator. No, a lot more use cases for it, right? We use this right for a brand and we use this for an ad and they have actually did very well, right? So this was also what I created for um, one of my ads, right? This was created for my ads. And yeah, this very well. The part is I can just imagine using this. I just change the color scheme, and that's another brand new ad, right? For testing, emphasis on testing. Do you get? That's another brand new ad. So we can actually see a couple of them. So you can see this now. Creation. I actually use this. Let me play this briefly. This is a picture generated with AI of myself. So if you can actually see this particular video here, this particular video was created 100% with AI, right? It was created 100% with AI. It's a 36-second video. There was no post-edit done, but you can see it's a long-form video and there was no break in the videos. So if I also play this and this, they are the same thing. This and this, they are the same thing, right? You get so, but just for the purpose of time, I would not really want to go into all that. You get even this was a animated video I also created with not this. You get this was an animated video I created with AI also 100%. So all this took me
out. I keep spending money, but nothing is working. First, they started restricting my ads. Then the cost per result keeps going up.
So you can see something here, right? You can see, like I told you, AI is not 100% accurate. You can see this high conspect and everything. So this is why I didn't really bother to do so much because I just wanted to use this as an idea concept, right? So, but normally I would go and do a post edit and edit some of these things out here, right? I'll just edit some of these things out. You get like this high conspect. It's supposed to be high conspect result, but there was this part of the inconsistencies you get when you're using AI. All right.
Low reach versions. Sometimes they even reject the ads completely.
You shouldn't be struggling like this. You should try ExpandEazy. They help businesses boost their ad campaigns. Just send ExpandEazy a message on WhatsApp. They'll sort your ads out.
You get so you can actually just basically see here. So I did a couple of concepts like that just for the idea of creating concept. For some of them, these are some of the recent ones. I can just go back to start finding other these things I've used for ad creation. So this has helped me as a marketer to push my marketing. So I can actually create an ad campaign in a couple of minutes. Do you understand? I can create an ad campaign in a couple of minutes using my templates and everything. I can just do that easily. Now, these are some of the few things now, right? So I'm going to show you something else, right? I'm going to show you something else, right? Okay, so I'm just going to show you guys something. So you see, okay. So, like I told you, there are different ways to use AI. We have used AI, right? We have used AI multiple ways. We have been able to find loopholes, and because part of what we teach here is not just using this alone, we also teach you how to navigate. Because I understand that it's going to be a bit difficult for you to start. It's going to be a bit difficult for you to start paying for most of these AI skills, right? But what you will do, I will show you how you can actually uh, will show you how you can actually access some of these AI tools for free. You understand? Though there will be some limitations, but we're going to show you how to access some of these AI tools for free. So let me just know if you guys are still following. Let me just go back. Are we still together? Are we still together? I'm just showing you some use cases. Are we still together? If you are with me, let me know in the comment section. I'm here in the comments. Are we still together? Okay. So are we still together, please? Yeah. Okay, we're together. We're still together, right? Okay. So this is, I want to show you, but here I'm having a little bit of, okay. There's a way we use, okay. So this would actually unload now. I want to actually show you guys something here before, but it's giving me a little bit of this error response. It's going to unload on its own normally, but it's just going to take a while. This will come back up, right? So one thing you must understand is that as you are utilizing these tools, right, we're going to show you how I'm just going to show you how it works. It's going to be a step-by-step process. It's going to be a step-by-step process. And the best part of it is that it's not just going to be a live session. This training is not just going to be a live session. I have already created the course, right? I've already created the course for this. I've already created a course for this already. So as we're having a live session, we're supporting because somebody said, how can I cover some of these tools? How can I cover some of these tools in this short time, right, in 2 weeks. So what I told the person was, I cannot cover all the tools in 2 weeks alone if we're doing live session because we're going to be having training 3 times in a week. That training is just going to be, live sessions is just going to be for the practical aspect and to show you guys workflows because we have complex workflows. So you can see that we've already started creating the course. So you are going to get complete access to the course and all the live sessions that we're going to have over the course of 2 weeks. You get, and even after the 2 weeks, there's going to be at least 1 month of practical implementation, where if there's any question and assistance, we'll still be providing you with all the needed, we're providing you with all the needed assistance in the course of the training. So um, that's that for now. I just want to open the room for questions. So if there's any questions, so the duration is 2 weeks, but we're going to have a 1 month addition for case of questions and all that. It's what I do for all my trainings. And you're also going to get a course, a full-blown course to go at your own time, at your own pace. And for those who will not be able to attend our live sessions, if you're not going to be able to attend our live sessions, we're going to be recording every of these sessions. Naturally, we use Telegram, but I discovered that the quality of recordings for Telegram was not is not so good. So we have most people complaining about the recorded session. Like I said, our goal is to always ensure that you get results from our training. So we always try to improve. So we paid for Zoom so that as you can see that this is Zoom now, but this is over almost an hour. There has been no disconnection. So we have to pay for Zoom because Zoom allows us to record these meetings and you get a smoother recording because network interruption is lesser with Zoom. So I don't know if there is any question as pertaining to this. I'll be opening the room for questions now. Is there any question? Okay. Is there any question? Let me allow. Okay, yes. As a Forex trader, how can AI assist you to improve? So these are part of the things we're going to be covering in the live session because honestly, I'm going to show you how to use AI to do some chart analysis, right? But this is just going to be based on requests as if so ensure that you're in the live session. Yes, you can actually use AI to do chart analysis, right? So there are creation of bot creation, but this is not included in this training, right? But because you can use AI to do chart analysis to actually get you an entry, a potential exit, that's stop loss, and take profit points, right, Ignatius? You get, and but it's something we're going to show you practically. So for your expectations from the training, for those who are going to be part of the training, we are going to try to meet up with those expectations during the live sessions. So that live sessions is going to be more interactive, it's going to be more questions filled, and then practical answers to your questions. So yes, as a Forex trader, it can actually help you. It can help you learn better. It can actually still help you to do analysis. You can do chart analysis using screenshots and all that for any particular market you want to enter. And then, you can actually, it's just, the truth is that you just have to be creative enough to use AI for any of your field, in any field or any endeavor. You just have to be creative enough. And that's why this training is here, to just show you that, okay, there's no limit to the creativity, there's no limit to the use cases you can actually use AI for. That's part of that's what this training is going to cover. Do you understand? So do we have any additional questions? Okay. If we have questions, you can just raise. I would allow to ask your questions. If there are questions. So I've allowed participants to unmute themselves. I've allowed participants to unmute themselves, so you can just unmute your mic if you have any question. So you can ask. Okay, you are a journalist, you've attended, okay, somebody says you're a journalist, you've attended a lot of AI trainings. I hope this will be worth your while. Yes, it will be worth your while. That's just the reality. It will be worth your while. So what I would encourage, because like I said, we're going to be teaching you all the skill sets as it pertains to this. You get, even as a journalist, if you're into blogging, I'm going to teach you an AI tool that you can use to write blogs in seconds. You get, generate content calendars in seconds, write blogs in seconds, SEO optimized blogs and everything. If you're a blogger as part of it, if you're doing a write-up and all that, you can actually use this and it will be, yes, it's going to be very worth your while for journalists, right? It's going to be very worth your while. It's part of the practical sessions. So if you're joining the training, just ensure that you are attending the live sessions, because that is where we will now be meeting individual needs. Do you understand? Because I believe that a training is not just about the content of the course alone. It should also be important that we meet the needs of the students, right? Yes. You know the reason why I'm using a smartphone for this presentation, I'm using a smartphone. For most of the training now, we're going to be using a smartphone. The last session, I used a laptop. So I discovered that most persons who attended that last sessions may not be able to do with phone. So at a point, I started using a smartphone. But we're going to be using a smartphone for, let's say, 100% of the class. We're going to be using a smartphone for it. I may just show one or two tricks on the laptop, but everything, yes, you can use a smartphone to handle almost all aspects of the AI techniques that we're going to be teaching here. So, but it's a smartphone. Even the course, yeah, the course I showed you guys there, it's a smartphone I'm using for recording of the course, because most of the people that are joining this training, they are using smartphones. So yes, it's a smartphone. Those videos I showed you that was created, everything was smartphone. Each and every one of the AI tools works with the smartphone, to the editing tool I used in putting everything together and all that. Do you get? Because it's important for you to understand the workflow. So workflows are going to be part of what I'll be showing you. Yes, the timetable is just going to be 3 times a week for 2 weeks, right? The 3 times is just to have interactive sessions, so that even the individual needs can be met. Do you get? Because some persons can go through the course, but they will not, because that particular thing they want to just do, they want to see it practical. So that's the purpose of the live session. So it's going to be 3 times a week. So after this now, my students, those who register for the training, they are going to vote the days of the week they want this particular training to be holding, right? So they're going to vote the dates of the weeks. It's going to be in the evenings. It's going to be in the evenings, 8 p.m. like this. That's the best time to have these trainings. You get? So it's going to be, that's how it's going to work. Okay, so if there's any other question, so the interval of the class will be determinant on the students, because it's going to be open for voting. You get? I like everybody to have a voice. So for the course materials, you are going to be giving access to the whole course materials, right? You're going to be giving access to the whole course materials, but I'm going to be releasing it still in batches, because I will add you guys, how to add to the folder. So you have complete access. So if you want to be ahead, you can have that. You get? So you can actually have that, but I would also be posting some of the links as per what we are covering. Do you get? So that it will just be a class, and then everybody will be following one by one, and then we'll be having tasks. Yes. Okay. So yeah, in the book provision, you're going to actually see it. It's not, yeah. So I think I do most of the things you mentioned. I just hope you gain more knowledge. Yes, you gain more knowledge, and in book provision, no problem. The book aspect is just going to be covered, right? Because I think if you've been in the digital skill acquisition preparatory group, the DiSA preparatory group, I showed how it's done. So I showed it. I showed it. It was a practical thing there. I did a screen recording of me creating the book. I did practical. So yes, it's going to be covered there. You have nothing to worry about. Okay. So is there another question? If there's any other question, you can ask. Then I think we can round off. We can call it a night. I would have this downloaded, uploaded to our YouTube channel, and shared for those who may want to go over it again. So the training still remains is 10,000. The training remains 10,000. 150 Ghana cedis, 300 rands, 2,100 Kenyan shillings, and yeah, 8,000 cephas. So for those who are interested in it, if you're not in the DiSA group, you send a DM. You send a DM for the payment details, right? And you'll be attended to. You'll be attended to. Yes, each of the apps you'll be needing, I'll be exposing it to you in batches. You get? So the app we're going to be using, I'll be exposing them to you. Every app you'll be needing, every website you'll be needing, I'll be exposing them to you. How to also navigate this, because many of these AI tools are paid, but each of these things I've shown you that I'm doing here, I did them free. So I'm going to show you the workflow for you to be able to get them free, how to do it and get these things free, how to navigate, how to circumvent Do you understand? Because I understand not everybody will be able to pay for these applications. They will not be able to pay. So I'm just also going to expose you to the apps. I'm also going to show you how to be able to access these training things for these training materials for free. So yes, Joshua, that's it. So I don't know. Let's just next 2 minutes. If there's any other question, you just drop your question, and then I think we can call it a night. All right. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much for being in attendance. It was a nice time with you guys, and I'm happy to have you all here. So I'll be calling it a night now. Thank you for coming. And for those who still need the program, send a DM. I would also send the chat links via all the groups to all the groups for those public the groups I do publicity on. And for those of you who've not joined the digital skill acquisition program, the preparatory group, you can. I will also share the link. Always do well to join them because that's where you have direct communication with me. Beyond the trainings alone, we still do a lot. Beyond the trainings, there is still a lot happening on that group. It's a productivity group, you understand? And so just do well to be a part of that. So see you guys in our next session. Thank you very much once again for attendance. The recording of this video will be made available and it will be sent to all the groups, including the preparatory groups, that's the DiSA community group. So thank you. Have a wonderful night rest.